Alright guys, my name is Chris Gutierrez with Code 3 Motors, longtime paramedic and Power Stroke mechanic. I've got a 2011 E350. This is the coach builder is Leader Ambulance Type 2, and it has the unleaded V10 Triton motor that's been rebuilt. It's got about 800 miles on the rebuilt motor. It had 357,000, which is quite a bit, so we just rebuilt the motor to make it much more desirable. So 800 miles on a new motor, and it's not new fluids, new everything. So it is ready to roll for another 350,000 miles. Well, I'll give you a walk around tour here into the patient compartment, and then we're going to get in the front, go over all the cab, Ford stuff, and then we'll go for a test drive. We're also going to look at the undercarriage and the motor, and all of your questions will be answered by the end of this video. Okay, so let's go ahead and let me get it fired up, and we'll go ahead and get the power going. Hold on a second, let me get the keys. Get this thing, it's quiet because it's unleaded. You don't have to wait for the glow plugs. So let's jump in the back and start going over all of that stuff. And I apologize for the road noise. As a matter of fact, I might even bring this inside to go over this, but we got pretty good light. So you can see the floor is in great shape. Backboard compartments here on the end of the bench seat. Now the upholstery has been completely redone. It was just torn to shred, and Leader Ambulance is basically in our backyard. I took the roasted bench seat to Leader. They did it in the exact same upholstery that it was originally done in, and did the piping to match the rest of the interior back here. Here's our compartments on the action wall. You'll also notice that all the AC and heater vents run the length of the ambulance, which is gives you better coverage than if it's just blowing from the wall up ahead. So let's just start going through all the switches here. You can probably see that the dome lights are on, and then if you want low, there's the low, and then if you want high, obviously there's the high. We'll leave them on. Our AC and heat, you can probably hear that is flowing excellent. And then we've got our speed selector. That is high. And then if you want heat or cool, this is the switch. Down is cool, up is heat. There isn't a thermostat in the Type 2s. It runs off the Ford thermostat. So you just tell your partner, hey, crank up the heat a little bit more, and he'll do that. So you can control your heat and how cold you want it to be and whatnot. We have our exhaust vent, which should be over here, right down there. Oh yeah, and the gurney configuration is set up for a Striker gurney. Any of the Striker gurneys, the MX Pro, the Easy Pro, Power Pro, all of the Strikers will fit back here, and most of the Furnos will fit back here as well. This compartment is where the inverter is. It's got a Xantrex EMS rated inverter. EMS rated in case you're running an IV infusion pump or a ventilator. The EMS version of the Xantrex inverter, it's a constant, steady flow of amperage, so there's no interruptions, particularly with an IV pump. So there is that. And to turn that on, that's on the action wall. It'll also show you the batteries right now are at 14.3 volts, and there's options that you can scan through. And it'll also show you how many amps. And when you're connected to the Shoreline, it'll tell you how much, how charged the batteries are. And then you just hold it to turn it off. You hold it to turn it on. If you just push it, it will not come on. You have to push and hold. There's that. Then we got our electric suction. That button is up there, and you'll see the suction regulator. It's a Score suction regulator integrated into the wall. And I'll put my finger over the hole. Let's crank it up a little bit. You can see that is good there. And then you can, dial it into whatever's right for the patient and your suction setup. There's a lockable narcotics locker. The key is on the key ring, so I can't open it up and show you right now because it's locked. It's small, but it's perfect for your morphine, your Valium, and your Dilaudid, or whatever you might carry for narcs. Up there is another compartment up above there, very large. And then this is your reach through from the side door, so you have your portable oxygen. And oh, you know what? Let me jump out real quick and show you where the house tank goes. But anyway, there's your suction. Here's all your compartments here. Lots of storage space. And then under the bench seat, there's also sharps container and trash there. So you get a trash bucket that goes there, sharps container that goes there. Underneath the bench seat, it's pretty deep space. You could put pillows, blankets, traction splint. If you carry a KED, that could fit down there. And all the spare tire stuff. There is a spare tire underneath the rear bumper. Let's look at that real quick. That's basically everything. Here, you can put the lights on a timer if you want. If you're pulling up to the hospital, you want to start shutting down. You can turn the dome lights off there and then just turn on the timer if you know you're like a minute out or 2 minutes out. The spare tire is under there. And you can see there's no rust. This is a Southern California ambulance, so there's no rust, but let me show you. This is where the house tank would be. And the regulator is brand new. The previous owner took the regulator. We've got a new one from Leader and put it on there. And it is for an M tank, not an H tank. It's deep enough for an H tank, but this rack, actually this is an adjustable rack. You could put an H tank in here. You just have to unbolt those brackets and raise them up. So you could go H or M with this particular ambulance. And then, almost forgot to show you, there's this side compartment here with shelving behind the driver's seat for spare linens and emesis basins, stuff like that. There's also under the jump seat another space there. Let's get in the cab. Oh wait, let me show you some more undercarriage. Alright, there's undercarriage, and then let's give you a shot since we're over on this side. The door panel in great condition. The floor, the seats, the upholstery, everything is really, really nice. I really like these LED ceiling lights. That is a Leader roof, the headliner rather. This is proprietary. Oh, let me tell you something else about Leader. Up above here are where all the electronics are that can control everything, the emergency lights, all that stuff. And it's very simple. It's just basic relays and solenoids. It's stuff that you can get at Napa, at AutoZone, O'Reilly, any auto part place. There are no proprietary electronics in this vehicle. So if something burns out, if a relay burns out, you can get this thing back in service in an hour. Versus if it's got a special relay board that burns out or something like that. Particularly Road Rescue and Horton come to mind. They have really complicated electronics. Usually that requires sending the part out for repair, and you're talking about substantial downtime. So one of the big pluses with the Leader ambulance, their electronics are very simple. So and they make really cool headliners too. So it kind of almost looks like an airplane cockpit with the switch panel and siren that are up above. So you can see the seat. The center console is the stock Ford console. Sometimes they'll yank that out and do a custom console so you can mount radios and whatnot. You could still put radios down there. Or we could fabricate a center console for you if you need that done. That would match the rest of the interior. We do stuff like that all the time. Okay, here is the driver's side door panel and the stepwell. The driver's seat, no holes, not frayed, not coming apart. There's that. And you get a better visual of the electronics. Leader's really easy with their Code 3 stuff. So up, everything's lit up right now. Now, if you just want to do, if just the back, I believe there's something in the grill going, but the strobe, the light bar's not going. It's just the rear, just to give oncoming traffic notice that you're in the road. But if you want everything, up is the red, and we'll look, you can see everything's going on with the light bar. So light bar, we've got yeah, that's the mechanic next door, and I'll be able to hear him for about a mile. But he works for us sometimes, tracing down some mechanical stuff. He's really good. He actually worked at the Ford dealer for 30 years, and now he's got his own place next door. So the light bar, we got steady burning reds in the center. That's a California requirement. And we got the white strobes, and then we got red flashers outside of those, and then on the outside, red strobes. In the grill, red alternating flashers. And then we got the side markers, the 9x7s, alternating red. And then back here we've got amber and red, and then the red light up above is, let me turn on the floodlights real quick. So these clears that are here, those are our scene lights. So now we got scene lights going. We got the back load light going. And we got the passenger side loads going. So it's a very nice looking rig. Now there are some scratches on the paint. So let me explain this. It never had stripes or any kind of signage on the side. It did on the fiberglass, but this thing had a complete wrap. So it had a hospital wrap all the way around. This thing was doing long distance transports for a hospital in Southern California. So it's got high miles, they're highway miles, new motor now, and it doesn't have any impressions in the paint because it had a vinyl wrap all the way around from the bottom to the top. So there are no impressions on there from what it used to say. So there's that. Let me turn this stuff off, and then we'll start going over some of the Ford stuff. Let's see, for starters, a radio. Alright, that works great. Okay, we've got the AC is already on. There's our speed selector. You can probably hear that cranking out. It's on max AC. And then if you listen closely, you can hear the actuator door moving through all the motions. Normal AC, you can hear the pitch change. Vent. Off. Floor, you can hear that change in pitch. Mix is feet in up here. And then defrost is defrost. And then obviously here's your climate control. You want hot, turn it over to hot. And all these switches are very stiff. They feel new. They don't feel worn out. They all have very good firm grasp in there. On our dash, there is a low pressure sensor. We checked all 4 of the tires. They don't have low pressure. So there is one of these 4 tires has a bad tire pressure sensor. We'll look into that more. But no check engine light. There are no issues with this thing. We put 800 miles on it since the motor's been rebuilt. It's solid and strong. It does need fuel though. It says 34 miles till empty. but no check engine light, no service engine soon light. And everything works. It illuminates completely. Every little thing that this thing had needed, we've fixed or repaired. So we got power windows. Let me adjust my screen. It has auto, and then those are fast and responsive. And then if you look at my mirror, you can see that the mirror works. You can see that other ambulance in the back. Those work great, side to side, up and down. And then if you look, we'll go to this other window. You can see that window works great. Up and down, nice and quickly. And then if you focus on that mirror, I'll move it around for you. It's a little difficult to see, but it's moving around. Up and down, side to side. Okay, there's that. We got our Ford horn. Oh, that's not a Ford horn. We have the siren switch. There's a switch. Let's see. Okay, there's our Ford horn. As soon as you hit the siren, now we got mono or dual. So if you want to sound like an armada of ambulances are coming, you can hit dual and it'll sound like multiple ambulances. And then if you double tap the steering wheel, that'll cut it off. But you can control a wail and yelp through there. It also has T3, which is basically a crazier version of Yelp. And then there's air horn. Wow, that sounds like a Freightliner right there. I think if I went mono, oh, no, it still gives you the Freightliner. It does have a PA. It was missing. We have one ordered. It will be in here by the time it reaches you. So just know that. We've got a spotlight here also. You can see that if you're looking for an address or trying to illuminate the crazy person approaching your ambulance with a knife in his hand. That is what that's for. And that's pretty much everything up here. There's a glove box over there. It's too far for me to reach, but it's a glove box, and it's got nothing special inside there. But super nice ambulance. Everything works. Let me show you the windshield wipers. We got the spray. That works, and we can go, super fast and a million settings in between. And then let's go for a test drive, I think. Oh, let's look at the motor real quick, and then we'll do the test drive. And then that'll wrap it up. Let me pop the hood real quick. Here she is, very quiet, as you can see. V10 Triton motor. And this thing is strong. I mean, this is the platform being used for campers and school buses right now. So it'll pull this little ambulance anywhere you want it to go. So there's that. Let's go for a test drive, and then that'll conclude today's video. All right, stand by. Let me just grab something real quick.